We're going to go ahead and start that recording. So welcome to today's class. We are going to be talking about to be or not to be social. And I wanted to just kind of talk a little bit about the social networking options that you have for you, and then also talk about some of the do's and don'ts when you're talking about social networking. So we're going to talk about those things today. I did put a poll up. If you guys don't mind participating in that, the poll is what social media do you use? I'd like to know from you guys, what are you currently using? I think the options I put up there are some of the basics like Facebook, Twitter, etc. And then digging a little deeper into Google Plus, which is one that we're going to talk about today as well. So again, thank you so much for joining us. I know Brian and I are excited about this topic, and we are both working hard on our brand and imaging online. So let's go ahead and get started here. And so the interesting thing is 90% of home searches begin online. And quite frankly, 90% of searches alone begin online. And it's funny, we have a saying in our house, and I think I talked about it last week when we were actually talking about Google, and that we have a saying that says, just Google it, right? I mean, that's almost just become an action word now. And so we know in the real estate business, and we also know on the mortgage side of the business, that when somebody wants to find something out, they quickly pull up the search engine, or they're on a social media network browser or whatever they're on, and they type in the question, hey, what about, roof repairs or this or that? And they're really beginning to be quite savvy in doing searches online. And so that's why we need to have a big social presence and online presence, which we're going to combine both of those today, to really grow our business, if that's what we want to do. So I like this saying. It says, it's not the strongest of the species that survives, but the one most adaptable to change. And I truly believe that in business, it is evolutionary. It's always changing. The ways that you connect with your clients change. The ways that you market your business change. The ways that you connect with people change. And I think that we need to be very adaptable to that change. Change is stressful. A lot of people don't want to go through it. But I think what's so important is that we develop a good sense of being adaptable to that change so we can be successful in our business. And right now, it's social media. Right now, it's online. Right now, it's our brand. And so we need to be able to know how to manage that in the best way, in the best light for us and our business. So I put up the poll, and I want to know, what social media outlets or programs are you using? Are you using Facebook? Are you using Twitter? Are you using LinkedIn, Google+, YouTube, Pinterest, RSS feeds? What social media avenues are you guys using? And I'm actually going to go to my polls to see. Yeah, we put Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and Google+. So again, I'm just very interested in what you guys are using, because I want to make sure that I'm tailoring this to you. Yeah, okay, good. So Facebook and LinkedIn, all but Twitter and RSS. Good. So we've got some savvy users in there, and we're going to dig a little deeper. One of the big things, and if you guys were in the class last week, oh, good. Thanks, Brian. Yeah, Google+, YouTube. I am a huge Google user, and I love their entire suite of products. And that's one of the things that we're going to talk about today. As well as some of the more common ones like Facebook and Pinterest and Twitter. But I really want to talk a little bit about Google Plus and why, if you aren't already, you should be using that in your business today. So let's see here. Get started. People spend three times more time on Facebook versus any other website. Do we have heavy Facebook users in here? I'm a huge Facebook user. I use it all day long. That's part of what I do for a living, but I also love to engage with people. And, you know, quite frankly, I work from home, so my social interaction is a lot of online. And so for me, I love being on Facebook. I connect with people. I connect with businesses. I go to the business website. I do a lot on Facebook. It's very comfortable for me. Some of the other products or some of the other social media outlets out there or avenues out there just aren't as comfortable for me, and I'm assuming they're probably not as comfortable for you guys. So that's why it's, you know, important that, yeah, we have a huge Facebook presence. Absolutely. We have to know the do's and don'ts of it, but we also need to look at the other social media avenues out there because they're slowly gaining a lot of traction, and we want to be on board with that. So gone are the old days of marketing. Remember back in the day, and I joke when I say that because none of us are old, but back in the day before a lot of the social marketing that we have going on in social media marketing, back in the day it was a one-on-one marketing push. And so it was the old saying of who you know. And that is obviously very amplified now, but back then your reputation was it. If you knew John and John had a good mechanic, you went to John, and when you were, you know, on the phone with John or at a party with John and you said, hey, I need a good mechanic, and John says, well, I got Bob. And so then that was a one-on-one marketing. And it works very well. It still works to this day, but it is just rocking because of social media. So now you not only have John, but you have everybody that John knows. And not only do you have your little sphere of people that you interact with on a face-to-face, day-to-day basis, you have a whole world of people out there, hither and yon, that you can get information from, that you can invite to like you, that you can invite into your business, that you can reach out to in hopes to penetrate the market more. And so really that one-on-one marketing is still very key, and we do have to keep that in the back of our mind because that is hands down going to grow our business. Remember what we said, what we've been saying all along, and I think this is a pretty common phrase, but people do business with who? They do business with people who they know, like, and trust. And in the one-on-one, it's a lot easier because you're usually engaging with people that know, like, and trust you already. On social media, you need to have a very pure presence for people to know, like, and trust you. And again, we're going to talk a little bit about the do's and don'ts of social media, but now we have a one-to-many versus more of that one-to-one marketing of the past. So I'd like to talk a little bit about the different avenues. These are the most popular, in my opinion, and I think you guys have posted that you use some of these. So obviously Pinterest, right? To me, that's huge. If you aren't using it, I think it's a good one for you guys to use because real estate is all about the visual. Buying a home is all about the visual. And I think it's very important for people to see what's trending because that excites them to do things. That excites them to bolster them to make a change, maybe buy a house, sell a house. And so Pinterest is really huge. It's all about discovery. It's a huge opportunity. It's very trendy. So you're looking at different trends there. You're looking at fashion. You're looking at colors. You're looking at trendable things. Huge user is female, but the male population is actually gaining a lot of traction in Pinterest. My friend owns a custom Jeep parts company here in town, and he jokingly posted 2 weeks ago, you know, watch for me on Pinterest. And we laugh because, I mean, really, Jeep parts right? But the thing is he saw that it was an opportunity for him to engage with some of his female drivers. And again, that male demographic is going up in Pinterest, and this is another way to do that. And he's all about the showmanship. So Pinterest was a natural progression for him. There's over 70 million users in Pinterest right now. Now, Twitter. Twitter is popular. I will be honest, I'm not as heavy of a Twitter user. I don't tweet as much. And it has a lot of users. I mean, look at the numbers. Look at the stats. 560 million active users. That is huge. The spelling of Pinterest, good question, Bill. The spelling of Pinterest is it's Pinterest. So Pinterest, like Pinterest. So Twitter has over 560 million active users. There's 5,700 tweets that happen every second. It's got a large penetration in the United States, and it's slowly gaining traction, but I personally have seen a little bit of a decline in Twitter. One of the things with Twitter is it limits the character set, which we'll talk about when we talk about our do's and don'ts. That's huge. It's just a quick snapshot, just a little, hey, here's what's going on. It's kind of that invite to a party. And so Twitter is the second largest social media program right now. And then, of course, you have Facebook. And I think everybody's familiar with Facebook, either on a personal social level or a business branding social level. It's got over 1 billion active users. It's crazy the growth that it has. It's crazy the reach that you can have on that. It's the largest opportunity for communicating with consumers. And it's not obtrusive because you as the consumer can actually navigate your feed, set up your feed, and you can have it so that way you're only seeing what you want to see. So it's quite customizable. We're also going to talk about the do's and don'ts of Facebook. I think Facebook is kind of a place where people feel that they're comfortable, and so they feel that they can air a little bit of their dirty laundry, and we certainly don't want that to happen, especially in our business where we want to create a positive brand image. So I thought that the statistic was interesting that users share 2.5 billion pieces of content each day. Soak that in. 2.5 billion pieces of content each day. Shoot, I'm excited if I get like 5 likes on one of my posts, you know. I mean, think about the reach that you have on this. So again, Facebook, if you aren't using it for business, you need to be. And we are going to talk a little bit about the difference between personal use and business use as well. Instagram. Instagram is gaining traction. Look, it's got more users than Pinterest. It's got 1.5 million users. What do you use Instagram for? If you're using it, what do you guys use it for? To me, I use Instagram for social sharing of photos. And then now you can do videos too, just real short 15-second blurts. But it's huge, again, for the visual. It's not necessarily a Pinterest where you are pinning photos of stuff that you like. Instagram is more you are posting pictures that you take of items that you like. So that's really more what Instagram is. Instagram uses hashtags. Does anybody use hashtags? I have a friend who uses hashtags like ridiculously, and it's become kind of a joke. They hashtag everything. But the reason why hashtags are important in Instagram, and they're becoming, again, important in other social media, is because if you hashtag, yes, the slide, no, Brian, not yet. It's staying on the same one. We're just doing an overall view. Sorry. Can you see the one with the social media set? Is that what you're seeing right now? I just want to make sure. Okay. And so with the hashtags, What you can do is you can basically tag your posts. So that way, if you find a common thread and want to go back to it, you just search for the hashtag. So for example, let's use Kalamazoo Mortgage. If Kalamazoo Mortgage branded themselves on Instagram and other social media outlets as hashtag Kalamazoo Mortgage or hashtag Kazoo Mortgage, anytime you would plug that hashtag into a search, it would pull up all the relative posts in that social media program that will relate to Kalamazoo Mortgage. So it's a good way to start branding yourself. A hashtag is just basically an identifier. So that's just basically like hashtag Kalamazoo Mortgage. It's just a way of branding. And Bill, we can talk a little more offline about that. So it's all pictures and posts that the consumers relate to. Building your brand is just really huge in Instagram as well. That's, to me, more of a personal thing, but it's slowly gaining a little bit of business tracking. Now let's skip over to LinkedIn. LinkedIn is very business oriented. I know some of you are using that. It's a business oriented social networking site, and it's for corporate brands. It's for corporate job postings. It's a way to connect on a business level. Again, it's business. It's not the party Facebook is. It's not the little invite that Twitter is. It's not the interest visual that Pinterest and Instagram are. It's more of an informational business platform. I find this statistic interesting. 79% of the users are 35 and older, so I fall right into that demographic. It's a lot of people who are on there are seasoned business professionals. I think that you need to have a presence in there because there's 240 million active users, so I think you do need to have a presence in there, but I think, again, it's a little more stagnant than some of the other social media avenues that we're going to talk about today. The last one I want to talk about on this page is Google+. I don't think that people understand the importance of Google+. It's rapidly growing. There's 925,000 new users a day. So what is Google+, you ask? It's a social network built by Google that interacts with all of their products. It interacts with their web searching. It interacts with YouTube. It interacts to build your brand. It interacts on a SEO level or a search engine optimization level. And so this is gaining traction. And if you aren't using it, I do suggest you get on the Google Plus bandwagon today. It will help grow your business. You can build your fan base or your friendship base. They're called circles there. And so you can set up the different circles so different people can get different posts. So for example, you have your client circle. You can target them for specific posts. You have your friends, you can target them for specific posts. That's why I think that Google Plus is going to gain a lot of traction. It's just simply more customizable than Facebook, where Facebook is just a blur of everything all the time. So in a nutshell, those are the social media avenues that are the most popular. Of course, there's a ton more out there, but we just aren't going to be talking about those today. So again, Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Google+, and LinkedIn. Now I want to talk a little bit about the do's and don'ts of some of these programs, because I think that it's very important for us to know what are the do's and don'ts when we're posting to these social media network sites. One of the things that I want to say, first of all, and I'm going to leave this screen up just and go sidebar just for a minute. One of the things that I think it's very important to remember is our personal social face may be different than our business social face. And I think that that's very different because, like I told you before a little bit ago, that Facebook has become what I consider kind of the airing of the dirty laundry for everybody. And I think it's a great way for people to get support if they're going through a rough time or, different things. But we want to be very careful on any of the social networks that we're working with, that we stay positive, that we stay professional, that we realize what impact a post can have to our brand, to our face, to our business, and to our business growth potential. So I think that we need to be very cognizant of the fact that maybe, depending on you, it's best if you have a personal account and a business account. I know a lot of people that do that. Let's just take Facebook, for example. They will have a personal Facebook page that they just are blurting everything that they want to on there, and that's just fine. But then they have what they would consider a business brand page or a business page. And there they may talk more about the services that they provide, the specialties that they have. They may do their client reviews, et cetera, et cetera. I think that that's a very difficult way to manage your business, every site having two logins, one for business, one for brand. Personally, I combine everything because I try and make a difference on the social media networks that I'm on and keep it like super positive. And I try, I can't say I nail it at 100% of the time, but I try and keep it very positive. I try and promote others. I do try and follow some of the do's and don'ts that we're going to talk about. But I do think that you need to be very aware of, do you need a separate business account or brand versus converting your current personal one to a business one. So let's talk about Facebook, because that is the most popular social media program right now. So I want to talk about the do's and don'ts. The do's. Do use the 80-20 rule. 80% of your posts should be social. 20% of your posts can pertain to your business. Now, what we're talking about here is we're talking about a combined account. But we are also going to talk a little bit about that business account. Because if you have all business all the time, people are not going to engage with it. You need to have some social, whimsical, pointed posts. And so use that 80-20 rule. Make sure you have the majority of your posts be social and pepper in a few posts about business, your reviews, what you can do, your new listings, how successful you had in a closing. Those types of things you can certainly add. Just watch your ratios. With Facebook, if you are a heavy user of Facebook, you know your feed changes minute to minute. And so what you're seeing right now is not necessarily what you're going to be seeing in an hour. So be quick on the response. Respond within an hour, no later than 24 hours. Really, after an hour, it's become old news. And I hate to say that, but it truly has. So you want to be quick with your response. It doesn't mean you have to be on all the time, but it does mean you have to kind of keep one eye on it while you're working on other things. Now, Facebook has changed their algorithm in that what used to happen in your news feed, what used to happen is it was time and date stamped. And so you basically got all the most current feeds up at the top, and it went down in a timed manner, throughout your feed. It doesn't do that anymore. What Facebook now does is based on your level of engagement with the person or with the topic, it'll move those to the top. And unfortunately, that's a hard lesson learned by me, is that people would write a post and I wouldn't see it till a couple days later. And I couldn't figure it out because it really changed how I had to manage Facebook. So now when I log in, I don't just look at the last 5 postings. I actually have to scroll down through and make sure I'm not missing anything. And that's on your news feed. It's not on your personal page, but it is on your news feed. It's important for you to know that just because you post it, it doesn't mean your client is seeing it. So if it's something that you actually want them to see, tag them in it, or maybe try and engage later to bump it up into their news feed. Do keep your posts short. Statistics show that posts with less than 80 characters receive 66% more engagement. Short, sweet, to the point. Don't drone on and on and on and on and on. People will not read it. I know I'm out of time mostly when I'm on there. I quick check it and move on. You probably are like that too. We're all very busy. So the shorter your posts, the better the engagement you will have. Build your following organically. What I mean by this is, and you kind of down in the don'ts, you'll see a don't buy likes. What this means is spread the word, send an email, link to your Facebook page and your Gmail signature. We talked about setting up your Gmail signature last week. Do it. Link back to your Facebook page. Get people engaged. You're already working with people who know, like, and trust you. Get them over to the Facebook, because then as soon as they start engaging on that page, their friends will see it. So you have just now multiplied your reach. And that's what's really important. So build your following organically. Spread the word. Invite people to like your page. Put it on your website. Put it in your signatures. Send out a once a month, hey, this is what's happening on Facebook, or here's some of my social media posts. What's interesting to you? Engage people. And that bleeds into our next one is post questions ask questions. Oh, I have a spelling error there. I apologize. Ask questions and post enticing content. Question posts have a 92% higher comment rates than non-question posts. And I'm going to just use a really silly example of this. Typically, I have quite a broad friendship list, I guess, friend list on Facebook. I have a very diverse, broad, and large friend list. And so normally when I post, I may get, a handful of likes here or there if I post something. The other week, I think it was, I posted 6 pictures of myself and I collaged them together, and they were 6 different hairstyles. And I said to my people, I said, I'm sick of my hair. Vote for which one you like best. And I'm telling you what, I had over 100 comments. And that really engaged people. A really silly way to engage people. It was intentional to do that because I actually was announcing another social campaign I was doing the next week, but it got people engaged on my site. One more way to connect with people. Do post no more than 1 to 4 times a week, 1 to 2 times a day. That's really a business thing. I think people let this rule slide a little bit for personal, but you don't want to saturate news feeds. And so that's why authorities will tell you don't post more than 1 to 4 times a week or 1 to 2 times a day. I think 1 time a day is good. We will talk about how you can know what are the best times to post. I have a program that I personally use that helps me to know that, and I'm going to roll that out to you guys at the end of this session. Do not, on Facebook, sell. Just don't do it. They will not engage your audience. Again, going back to that 80-20 rule, you can sell a little bit, but just make sure the majority of your posts are social. Don't ignore your audience. If you have people that are commenting, good, bad, or indifferent, make sure you engage with that. Because the more you engage, the higher it's going to move up on their feed. Remember, we talked about the algorithm earlier. And then the more their friends are going to see these posts, because they may comment on them. So then their friends see them, et cetera, et cetera. And so it's really broad reaching. Just don't ignore your audience. Even if somebody slams you, use it as a way to engage with them. Don't buy likes. There are different programs out there that you can, within Facebook, you can buy likes. There's a couple schools of thought on that. All the experts say don't do it because the likes that you buy are not organic. They won't show up on your friends' feeds. And you are getting a false sense of likes. So if people drill down and actually see the people who liked on your page, they're going to see that a lot of people who do that, like through Fiverr or through Facebook, they are not local. The one way that you can buy likes that we can talk about on a different class, we don't have time for it today, but the one way you can buy likes is if you actually run an ad to get more likes, and those would be organic because you could drill it down enough that the people would be in your demographic or in your area, in your geographic area. They're actually looking to buy or sell a house, so you can drill that down and try and engage people that way. But as far as likes go, just don't do it. And don't write fake comments. I've seen that, and I know when it happens. It looks bad for you. get your reviews and just blast those out. A positive review. Brian and Kalamazoo Mortgage do a really good job of that. When they get their reviews on Zillow or Realtor.com or whatever it is that they're using and they get those, they just copy that and paste it into Facebook, or copy it, save it, and then post it to Facebook. So then it's kind of across the board, these reviews. And I think that that is huge and goes a long way, because chances are when you're working local, somebody will know somebody who knows somebody. So don't write those fake reviews. Pinterest do's and don'ts. We're going to talk about this a little bit because I think it's very important for you to get on the Pinterest train. I just had 2 people in my circle join Pinterest yesterday. So Pinterest do's and don'ts. Come up with catchy names for your boards. Strategically choose the cover pin for each of those. Don't make it just dribble. Make it something that will entice people to come and look at your boards. Do integrate Pinterest with Twitter and Facebook as a tab. You can do that on business pages, and that will get you greater exposure across these social media boards. Again, if you need to know how to specifically do some of this, I can help you with that off class. Add the Pinterest and pin it buttons to your website, your blog, your signature. Get people to go to your Pinterest boards and like them. Link your pins back to the original source page. That will help boost your traffic to your site, to your blog. The more traffic that you can direct to you using other people's already established posts will help boost your traffic. Comment on other pins and interact with new groups of people. That's a great way to do that as well. If you get in your Pinterest feed, like if you have the app on your phone or on your iPad or on your computer or whatever, and you see that your friend just joined, like mine yesterday, I'll go in and I'll look at her boards and I'll say, oh, this is really neat. I really like this. Thanks for posting, or something like that. Engage people that way. Engage people on a social level. Do try asking a question in the comment box. Remember, we talked about that, right? We talked about how you can get more out of a question. Don't confuse your followers by pinning random things. Be very methodical with what you're posting and what boards you create. Don't forget to sign in and out of your multiple logons. We talked about that, personal and business accounts. Don't be afraid to ask your Facebook and Twitter followers who you should follow. Ask them, hey, who are you following? I'm interested. I want to know who are the best followers, who's the best to follow on Pinterest. If I'm interested in fashion, if I'm interested in architecture, if I'm interested in decor. Don't pin solely pictures of your products and projects. Think beyond that. Stretch your brand's personality to other areas of visual interest. And that, again, goes back to the don't sell, sell, sell. Going on to Twitter, again, I told you guys that when I started in social media, Twitter was like the stuff. That was the up and coming. Now there's a lot of new programs out there. So for me, Twitter has kind of fallen by the wayside, but there are still do's and don'ts, whether you use it religiously or not. Do have a complete profile. Pictures are key. Do use hashtags properly. We talked about that. Make sure that you're branding. I am going to show you an example of using hashtags in the other social media outlets in just a minute. Do make it all about them being all about the people who are following your tweets. Be short, sweet, and very original. Share interesting news and ask for a retweet. Does anybody know what a retweet is? A retweet, oh, I can hardly even say it. A retweet, or an RT, is basically asking somebody to repost what you've posted. So don't be afraid to ask for that. It's, again, spreading the brand, spreading the word of you. Don't try hard to sell. Don't post too much personal information. Twitter is going to be a little more business by nature. And don't tweet too many times. Again, you can scale it back. I think that the experts that I follow say that with Twitter, you can follow the same general rule, 1 to 4 per week, 1 at most per day. So that is Twitter. in a nutshell. I'm just looking at the time here. Good, we're doing good on time. The next one that I want to talk about is, again, one that I just said is a social media platform for you that is, people just aren't using it. And Cheryl posted on here that she did a Google poll or a Google Plus poll, and it was super, super easy to do. And when she did one, she had, let's see, what did you say? I did one for the best month to list spring, January, February, March. So she's doing these polls in Google Plus to engage, and she said it was very easy and translates very well. So with Google Plus, what you want to do is, while the jury may still be out on the value of it for personal users, for small business users, it simply cannot be ignored. It isn't just another social media network small businesses can use to boost their online presence, but it is also the ultimate resource to maximize your visibility on the other Google search engines, Google web browsing, YouTube, all the other products that Google owns and uses interact with the Google+. So a big thing is you want to take advantage of the SEO value. SEO is the search engine optimization. And what that means is that because Google is used for a web browser, if you use the SEO feature on your Google Plus page, they will interact. So the better Google Plus page you have, the higher ranking you have potentially to get in Google as a search engine. So when people go into Google and search you, chances are your profile will be there and your brand will start showing up higher and higher and higher on that search engine. There's a lot of tricks to SEO, and again, that's kind of off topic for this seminar, but I encourage you to do some research on this and get on the SEO bandwagon. Use images, use professional images. Let me alter that bullet point by saying use professional images. Use images of your business headquarters to show that you're engaged with the page. Then the images will show up in your brand's search engine results. Then you'll be locally verified because it's doing a footprint on where you are geographically. So they feel, also your clients feel more at ease with doing business with what they can see, know, like, and trust. And so using the local point visuals is going to be really huge, just showing them you're here, you're in their community, you're part of it. Strategically share content. This one is very interesting to me. You can post to Google Plus just like you do any other social media network. However, what I found in the last week, which I thought was just awesome, is that the other Google products post randomly on your behalf. Now, what does that mean? Okay, how many of you use or make videos and post them to YouTube? Go ahead and type in if you guys are using YouTube for your videos. I have a couple clients throughout the country that use YouTube. Every week we work on a video for them and they post it. One is called Saturdays with Suzanne and one is called Foodie Fridays. And that's our theme. It's a simple theme. We do a quick short minute video. Foodie Fridays is I have a client who does a quick video on a recipe, and then we tie that into something that has to do with his business for the week. And we post it every Friday. Now it's gotten to the point where people crave these new recipes in Foodie Friday every week. So if we don't get that sucker posted by like 9 a.m. on Friday, he has people texting him and going, what's the recipe for this week? Where's Foodie Friday? How come it's not posted yet? So the interesting thing is we post these just because most social media outlets refrain from posting longer videos. They do little snippets, but the longer videos, they don't like you to post direct, so we have to do a pass-through of YouTube. So what I found in Google Plus is that I post it on YouTube it automatically then gets posted to this client's Google Plus account. 2 days later, the people who he's connected with in his circles in Google Plus got an email that said, did you see this video that so-and-so put out? So not only, he only had to post to YouTube, it went to his Google Plus account, and then Google did the heavy lifting for him. They sent an email to all of his contacts. So how cool is that? Strategically share content, but know that the reach of Google is so broad, y'all. If you are on the train that is Google, you need to get on it. Now, the other thing that I found was pretty cool was with the authorship of the relative publisher tag, and again, this is off topic, this is going a little deep, but if you do claim authorship of what you're using with that relative publisher tag, it will actually come up higher when people are looking at their news feed. So that's pretty cool. So we will want to probably do a different class on going deeper with Google+. Make your posts stand out using formatting, the bold, the underline, all of that stuff that you are limited with in Facebook, you can do in Google+. Use it. Make your stuff stand out. Work every day to actively grow your audience. Put a +1 button on your website. Create a community. Ask for reviews. Follow other businesses. I mean, this is all simple, but it's pointed, and we need to spend time on this in order to grow our business. Google will do a lot of the heavy lifting for us, but we need to be very diligent with how we are setting everything up. What I do like about Google, and it's on don't, is forget about your circles. As we talked about earlier, you can set up your circles so you can post to specific people, specific items. And I think that that's huge. So don't forget about your circles. Make sure you're engaging all of them. You can either post to all or post to specific, and I think that that's huge. Get to know how to do that. Don't neglect your profile. You set up your Gmail account, great, you did that so you can have the drive that we talked about last week, awesome. Don't forget about your profile. You need to build this professional brand just like you did on your Facebook page, your Twitter page, your Instagram page, your Pinterest page, all those other pages. Make sure you do that. Go in and set your profile page, go in and set your cover page graphic, all of that stuff. Don't wait for your clients to find you. Go out and search them. Google does have a friend suggestion on there. Take advantage of that. Find your people. And then don't confuse Google Plus with the other social networks. Again, this is one that is different. It has a potential. It's growing fast, and it's something that you should be on it. It's not Facebook. It's not strictly social. You want to find out the little idiosyncrasies of Google Plus so that way you can use it smart and let it do some of the social networking for you. Any questions at this point? We have about 15 minutes left, and I want to talk a little bit about a program that I use to help with my social media posting. Any questions on the 4 that we went over? We went over Google+, we went over Twitter, we went over, sorry, I'm pulling out my notes here, we went over Pinterest, and of course we went over Facebook. I know it's a lot of information. We're doing a high-level overview. We can always dig deeper on another class. So this is, oh, I didn't take that off. I'm sorry. Let me, I want to talk a little bit about Facebook, or I'm sorry, a little bit about Hootsuite. As you can tell, with Facebook, Google+, LinkedIn, Pinterest, all of these programs, they can be what I call time suckers. Would that be a fair statement? You jump on Facebook to check one thing, and all of a sudden it's 20 minutes later, and you're like, where did that 20 minutes go? And so all of these social media avenues have the potential to be time suckers, and you simply don't want them to be that for you. but you need to maintain an active presence. So those two things almost negate each other. And so what I want you to do is to be very cognizant. One, if you aren't going to use a program like Hootsuite, which is what my preferred program is, to manage your posts, at least make sure when you log on to something, you're in and out. And you aren't letting it take away from some of the money-making opportunities that you have outside of social media, like phone calls, face-to-face, et cetera, et cetera. So one of the programs that I use is Hootsuite. It's uber easy to post quickly and to post over multiple social media platforms. What I really like about it is you can use it to manage your entire social platform or portfolio. On most of the common sites, they're slowly rolling out beta testing of some of the additional sites that we talked about, like Pinterest, etc. So it is slowly rolling those out, but it's great for Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, any blog posts, and also, of course, the Google+. And you can really streamline your business with this. So what you see here is this is the, quote, dashboard, and I want to go live in just a minute so you can see mine and see how it works. This is a dashboard of Hootsuite, and there's free versions and paid versions. I happen to use the paid version. But what you're seeing here is this, on the far left, the Twitter for Hootsuite. That's the Twitter feed for Hootsuite itself. And so you can have these up in your dashboard and see what is going on that's in your social media network. So you can be viewing them all at the same time. So you can look at the Twitter board, you can look at your Facebook newsfeed, you can look at your Google Plus newsfeed while simultaneously monitoring Facebook, while monitoring Twitter, et cetera, et cetera. And so I think that's why it's a huge benefit, because you can be looking at these in one program, you're not signing in and out, and then you can manage them and post as necessary. The other reason why I really like Hootsuite is because it helps me to know where I'm getting the best engagement on my posts, and also it allows me to see what is trending or popular at the time, and it allows me to do a quick engagement, because remember, one of the things on all these social media programs that we've talked about is engaging with your audience, engaging with your people, engaging with your clients, and this is a great way to do that. So yes, this is Hootsuite, this is the dashboard, and I can manage everything from there. So what I'd like to do is I'm actually going to go live to my Hootsuite account. So can you guys still see my screen here? Give me a post on a yes or no, please. So when you look at Hootsuite, this is when you log in first. This is what you're going to see. Dashboard is what I use. You can look at the different plans. I use, oh, thank you, Diane. You can look at the different plans. There is a free one. It's just not as robust. I actually use the Pro. They do have a nice plan comparison here. Again, this is what I use. It's $9.99 a month. Jody, you can't see anything right now? You don't see my Hootsuite screen? Brian, you can't see my screen right now? Okay, let me see what I can do here. Okay, now do you guys see it? Now you see it. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Sorry, I still had the I still had my presentation up, so I apologize on that. So this is Hootsuite. This is the comparison of the programs. I use Pro. It's $9.99 a month, I think, is what I pay. And the reason why I like it is because I can do up to 100 social profiles. So I can set this up for either the clients I'm working with or the different social media profiles that I have. It also includes message scheduling, which what I do with some of my social media, depending on who I'm working with and what I'm working on. I usually take Monday morning, first thing on Monday morning, and I set up my social media campaigns for the week, and I schedule them in advance. And then I don't even have to think about it. I wouldn't even have to get into the social media program if I didn't want to be engaged. So that's kind of cool. The other thing why I went pro is I have myself included. I can also give my Hootsuite information to my team members. If you do work in teams, I know a lot of you guys do. And you can give your Hootsuite login to your team members so they can help manage your social profiles if you have an assistant or something. And then they don't need to log in to each social media profile all the time. So I thought that that was pretty cool. You can do the RSS feeds. It does have a lot of really interesting training as well. So again, I use Pro. If you just want to get started, jump on the free and see, use it, love it, and then jump up if you need to. So this is my dashboard. And what I wanted to show you here is this is live, this is legit. And this on the left is my Facebook news feed. So you guys can connect with me on Facebook. I do not have separate professional and personal profiles. So it's just Julie Jiggs Reisner. And if you find me on there, friend me and I'll accept your friend, and you can follow some of the stuff that I'm doing. And likewise, I'll follow you back. And promote you. My biggest thing when I'm in Facebook is to promote local businesses and my friends who are in the business. And so, hold on one sec. I thought I saw a hand raised. April, did you have a question? Bill, I know you did, and I think I answered that. But April, I don't know if you want to type that into the question. If I missed something for you, please let me know. But what you're seeing here is you are actually seeing my Facebook feed. And then this is a group that I started. So think of this as like a group that you're a part of, and you want to monitor what's going on in the group. And so I can see all these across the board. I can also go into my social networking and just say I want to go into my LinkedIn and connect with my LinkedIn. It'll allow me to connect that profile. Let's see if it works. I haven't done this before. So now I'm here. It'll allow me to not only connect my LinkedIn profile, but it will also allow me to follow the groups. These groups that I'm a part of, it'll allow me to follow them as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and add that. And I want to take ownership of that because it was actually under a different account. And so now I can watch my LinkedIn profile. I can see what's going on in my LinkedIn, on my wall, my updates, my partners, my people who I'm connecting with, et cetera, et cetera. So it's just a really neat way for me to stay on top of all of this. So I'm actually going to close those down. So again, this is my dashboard. And I just, easy breezy, just go in here and I want to monitor my news feed. I go in here and I want to monitor, say, a group. I want to monitor my compassion group. And I want to monitor my news feed here. So I can set this, customize it to monitor all things across the board. Now, if I want to post to one of these, it's easy enough. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on up here and I'm going to click on compassion. That's just my group that I'm working on. And I'm going to click on the image. I can select a file to upload and say that it's going to be, let's just say I want to post this. And I'm going to open that. It does create a shrunken owly URL to the image. And I can go back in and I can type, do you act compassionately? Okay, so I can type in there. It'll it'll add this and it'll add this. Right now, I'm just posting in this group. I can go in and I can select. Do you see here how I'm selecting multiple? So that's what I was saying, how awesome is this tool, that you could select your Facebook, your Twitter, you could select your Google+, you can select all of that within here and post the same message to it, or you can post different messages to them. I can click on here, I can go in and I can schedule this. So I want to schedule it for today, but let's say I don't want it to go until 12:15 p.m. And then if I, whoops, sorry. And then if I scroll down, I can click schedule. And then at 12:15, that's going to be posted to those places that I selected. So you can see here in my news feed, I've got a post that people have been posting on, so it's moving up to the top. But then this is one that I posted right before class because I was doing some testing, and that was at 9:41. So I can follow what's going on here. This is something that's near and dear to my heart, and everybody who posts to Compassion, I want to make sure that I respond to them very quickly. And that's my group. That's my business page right now. And so that's why I have this up all the time. So you can add your different social networks. You can add Twitter, Facebook, Google+, LinkedIn, Foursquare, WordPress, and Mixi. They are doing a beta testing for Pinterest, so you will be able to do that as well. But again, Facebook, Google+, those are going to be huge for you to get engaged with. Start small and grow big. Okay, so again, that's Hootsuite. The other thing that I like to say, any questions on Hootsuite? I just want to get it wrapped up here. The other thing that I want to say is, if this is overwhelming to you, because it is to a lot of people, when in doubt, hire it out. I can't say that enough. Don't ignore it. Get on the bandwagon. And honestly, if you either don't have the desire to figure it out, or you just don't want to take the time to figure it out, or you don't have the time to figure it out, hire it out. There's a ton of social media marketing sites out there, businesses that will do this for you. However, use caution, because not all of them are good, and most of them cost money. And so if you're going to, if you are going to hire it out, just contact me and let me know. Let's talk about what you need, and then I can give you a couple options of different companies to check out that either have free trials, or just based on your needs might be scaled back a little bit for you to use and not throw a bunch of money away when you're kind of getting started in the social media marketing bandwagon. So, any questions out there? We're right on time, so I'd like to finish this up on time for everybody. If you do have questions, go ahead and post them. I'm happy to answer those. We covered a lot of material. We covered some social media programs themselves. We covered a few things on how to do them. And Diane, I certainly will call you this afternoon, and we can discuss your personal needs. Again, all of these programs have great help, I don't know what I would call that. My mind just went blank. They have great help engines, and so you can get in there and check out exactly what you're looking for, or again, just go ahead and pose a question to me. Get with me, connect with me either on Facebook, LinkedIn, Google+, wherever, email, snail mail, smoke signal, text, whatever it is, just reach out to me and I'm happy to help you get social. So thanks everyone. Have a great day. Stay warm, stay safe, and grow your business. Talk to you soon.